Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are really digging into something almost everyone feels at some point.
That's social awkwardness. Freezing up.
Exactly, that feeling like you just don't have the tools to connect with people. But here's the thing we found in the sources. Confidence, charisma, connection. They're not magic.
Right, not just something you're born with or not. It's actually a set of skills.
Yeah.
Measurable skills.
And most importantly, learnable skills. That's our mission today.
But we're basically debunking that myth, that you're either a smooth talker or you're doomed to stare at your shoes.
We're laying out the curriculum, the education, the awareness, the practice, everything you need to kind of rewire how you handle social stuff.
Start to finish, every interaction.
So to really get a feel for this, let's talk about a story that came up, Kyle's story.
Ah, yeah. Kyle, recently divorced, right? After a long...
Nearly 20 years. And he goes to his sister's wedding alone, first big social event by himself.
Surrounded by strangers, distant family. Tough spot.
And he has this, agonizing realization in the middle of the ballroom.
He realized his ex-wife, Kathy,
Yeah.
she'd always done the heavy lifting, socially.
Yeah. She was the charismatic one, handled the intros, kept conversations flowing, remembered all the little stories.
And suddenly Kyle's just exposed.
Yeah.
Standing there, realizing he'd basically outsourced his social life for 2 decades.
Yeah, and he describes this moment. His sister's new cousin-in-law comes up, says, "Hey, how's it going?"
Simple enough, right?
You'd think. But Kyle just blanks. His mind is racing like, what do I say? Does he care about my week? Is this even worth the effort? Panic stations.
So what did he do?
Defaulted. Just a flat, oh, good.
Oof.
Yeah.
Awkward silence territory.
Totally. The moment just fizzled. Quick escape.
And that feeling that I don't know how to do this basic human thing, it's a wake-up call for a lot of people.
It really is. And it leads right into the core idea of this whole deep dive.
Which is?
Your ability to connect with other people. It's pretty much the biggest factor in your overall life satisfaction. Happiness, success, all of it.
Absolutely. More than money, more than status. Often you can have all that. But if you feel alone...
It feels hollow.
Right, right.
But if you have, just say, 5 really close, deep connections.
You often feel richer, happier, more secure. And the sources emphasize this connection skill it's built.
Through trial and error, deliberate effort, over years.
Which is why we're structuring this around those 3 pillars. Education, what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Awareness, looking inward. And
How about practice? Little changes every day.
And we're starting not with the fancy techniques,
Yeah.
but with the internal stuff. Mindset first.
Okay, so everyone has that daydream, right? Walking into a party, a networking thing, a first date.
And just owning the room. Being magnetic.
Yeah. But the sources say, put that fantasy on hold for a sec. Real charm, real confidence. It's built on something deeper.
Knowing who you are.
Exactly, to defining your sense of self. Because that dictates everything you do, every choice, every reaction.
Psychologically speaking, your sense of self is like your internal blueprint. Your beliefs, your purpose, your identity. It's all in there.
And if you lack that clear definition...
It's chaos, basically, internally.
It leads to drifting.
Drifting, like aimless.
Yeah. You feel uncertain, indecisive. Because there's no North Star guiding you. And that uncertainty, it fuels anxiety.
Which shows up as social nerves. Trouble committing.
Look at Kyle again. Post-divorce, his identity was so wrapped up in being Kathy's husband.
Right.
Take that away, and he's just floating at that wedding. Doesn't know his purpose there. Is he having fun meeting people, supporting his sister?
He doesn't know who he is in that context anymore.
Exactly. Because he hadn't defined it for himself.
Makes total sense. If you don't know yourself, how can you be authentic with others? You mentioned Erica Myers, the counselor.
Yeah, she made a great point. Real confidence comes when you can tell what's truly coming from you.
Versus what's been kind of put on you by others. Expectations and stuff. Precisely. Living authentically. It sounds simple, but it's the bedrock. If you're faking it, you're always worried the mask will slip.
But that's the tricky part, isn't it? So many people spend years living up to expectations, parents, partners, bosses.
They mistake that false self, the persona, for their true self.
So how do you even start digging down to find the real you?
Well, the sources suggest a really practical exercise. They call it checking in with myself.
Okay, what does that involve?
Dedicated quiet time. Like really quiet. Journaling, maybe meditation, or just thinking.
Yeah.
but you have to write the answers down.
Why writing? Why not just think it through?
Because writing forces clarity. It makes it concrete. Stops the thoughts just swirling around.
Gotcha. And what kind of questions are we talking about?
Tough ones. Exposing ones like, what kind of person are you right now?
Ooh, not who you wish you were.
Nope. Who you are today. Or what things in life are you genuinely passionate about loving? And just as important, what do you passionately hate?
Knowing what pushes your buttons is key too, huh?
Absolutely. But here's where it gets difficult. Like you said earlier, that false self can feel very real. If your spouse told you for 20 years you were passive.
You start to believe it. It feels like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you separate it? That's why the solitude is crucial. You need to get away from those immediate external voices.
Okay.
That false self is often a defense mechanism, right? A persona you adopted. To find the true self underneath, look for the emotional inconsistencies.
Right, go.
Like feeling miserable in a prestigious job your parents pushed you into. That misery, that's the signal. It's clashing with your true self.
While moments of feeling energized or at peace, that's the true self peeking through.
Often, yes. You have to consciously look for those conflicts and alignments.
Okay. So let's say you do this work. You get some clarity on your true self, your values. What then?
And you align your actions. It's about making choices. If you realize you value health.
You got to stop wishing and go to the gym, eat better.
Exactly. And treat your time like currency.
Yeah.
That example of the gamer.
Right. Values connection, but spends 6 hours a day on video games.
The action isn't necessarily quit gaming cold turkey. It's about adjusting. Maybe cut it to 2 hours on weekends.
And consciously use that saved time 4 hours during the week for connection. Calling family, planning dinners.
Precisely. You redirect the currency. Satisfaction comes from living in line with your defined values. That internal clarity prevents that anxiety, that drifting Kyle felt.
All right, foundation set. Sense of self. Now we move to the biggest external skill. And it's one people mess up all the time.
Listening.
Active listening. It's huge. Like 7% of good communication is listening, not talking.
When it's done right, yeah. It gives you clarity, and it meets that fundamental human need.
To feel heard, understood.
Exactly. But most people fall into a trap. That Michigan State study pointed it out.
What trap is that?
Listening to respond. It's almost instinctive. You're kind of half listening.
While your brain's already crafting your comeback. Planning your next sentence?
Yeah. You're just waiting for a pause, a breath, so you can jump in. You're not really absorbing their message.
That makes conversations feel like a fight almost, a debate club.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like that anecdote about the person explaining their vegan diet.
Yeah.
All the health reasons, ethical points.
And her dad just cuts in with, yeah, but I just love steak too much.
Perfect example. He wasn't engaging with her reasons. He wasn't trying to understand why she felt that way.
He was just filtering it through his own opinion and waiting to fire back.
Right. The goal needs to be the opposite. Listening to understand.
And that's a learned skill, not automatic.
Definitely learned and practiced.
Yeah.
You're aiming to grasp why they think, what they think, how they feel what they feel. That's the only way to have a real meaningful conversation.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do we break that respond mode habit, especially when the pressure's on, like in a meeting?
Start with the absolute basics. Give your full attention.
Sounds obvious, but harder than it looks.
It is. Minimize distractions. Put the phone down. Turn away from the computer screen. No glancing at your watch.
And what about when your mind just wanders off? Because it will.
It absolutely will. You need an anchor. A quick physical reset. The sources suggest this neat little trick.
Okay.
Focus, just for a split second, on the center of your palm.
My palm. Won't that look weird if I'm talking to my boss and suddenly stare at my hand?
Yeah, good point. It needs to be subtle. It's an internal focus. Maybe your hand is resting on your leg or the table.
Ah, okay. So it's not a performance. It's a mental interrupt.
Exactly. It just breaks the thought spiral, yanks your attention back to the present moment. And that Harvard study back in '57 found techniques like this boosted listening by 40%.
Wow. Okay, subtle palm focus. Got it. What else?
Hear the other person out. This is huge. Stop interrupting.
Guilty as charged sometimes?
We all are.
Yeah.
But interrupting basically screams, my thought is more important than yours. It devalues them. You gotta wait until they finish their thought or reach a natural pause. Patience.
Right. And listening isn't just mental, is it? It's physical, too.
Oh, absolutely. Use your body to listen. Remember, 55% of communication is nonverbal.
So turn towards them. Open posture.
Yeah. Uncross your arms, make eye contact, not creepy staring, but regular contact, like 60, 70% of the time. gentle nods, maybe a small smile if appropriate.
And little verbal cues like, uh-huh.
Exactly. Small affirmations like, I
Oh.
see. Okay. To show you're tracking without hijacking the conversation.
Okay, and the final piece for real understanding.
Repeat back for clarity. This shows you're actively processing, not just passively receiving.
How does that work? Paraphrasing.
Yeah, paraphrasing is great. Use phrases like, okay, so what I'm hearing is, or it sounds like the main issue for you is...
Summarizing their point in your own words.
Right. Or, even simpler, repeat their keywords back. If they keep saying they feel overwhelmed.
You mentioned feeling overwhelmed. Can you tell me more about that?
Perfect. It validates their feeling and shows you picked up on the emotional core of what they're saying.
So attention, no interrupting. Body language, repeating back. What about like advanced listening, dealing with the modern world?
Two big things. Distractions and judgment. Technology first. That Larry Rosen study. Scary stuff.
Students could only focus for 3 minutes with tech around. Yikes.
Yeah. So during important conversations, you need digital discipline. Put the phone away. Turn off notifications. Create a focused space.
And judgment.
Judgment kills listening. If you go in thinking this person's wrong, you stop trying to understand their view. You just listen for flaws in their argument.
You have to consciously notice when you're judging and like set it aside, try to stay open.
Exactly. Be open-minded. Notice the judgment, acknowledge it, and gently refocus on understanding their perspective, even if you disagree.
Okay, so we've mastered listening to understand, or at least we're working on it. But you can't just listen forever, right? You need to contribute.
Right. You need to drive the conversation forward. And the best tool for that, overwhelmingly, according to the sources, questions.
Questions are the engine.
Pretty much. They give you information, help find common ground, guide the interaction, everything.
They have 3 main powers, you said. Direction, clarity, understanding.
Exactly. Let's break those down. Direction is about steering.
Like avoiding conversational dead ends. If someone says their weekend was just fine.
Yeah. Instead of letting it die there, you use a question to redirect. Oh, yeah. Did you do anything relaxing? I'm looking for ways to unwind. Or if they watch TV.
Anything good? I need a new show.
Perfect. You took a generic answer and steered it towards something specific, potentially shared. You took control.
Okay, direction.
Yeah.
Then clarity.
Yeah.
That's about digging deeper.
Yep, get into the specifics. The puppy example is good here. They say the puppy's chewing everything.
Instead of just, oh no, you asked for details.
Right. Is it all the time or just when you're out? What kind of stuff is he chewing? It shows you're actually engaging with the problem, not just offering generic sympathy. You need the facts.
And the third power, understanding. This is about making them feel heard.
Heard and validated. Continuing with the puppy. After clarifying the chewing issue, you might ask something like,
That sounds really frustrating. Have you looked into whether it's just a puppy phase or maybe separation anxiety?
Exactly. You're showing you've processed their information and you're now contributing thoughtfully, exploring solutions or deeper reasons. It validates their struggle.
So questions are key. But starting conversations, we need better openers than, how are you?
Oh, definitely. Ditch the generics, their invitations to one-word answers. Fine, good, busy. Conversation over.
We need open-ended questions right from the start, something that requires a real answer.
Yes, and ideally something that taps into positive emotion or passion.
Give us some examples. What works well at, say, a networking event or party?
Okay, instead of what do you do, which can feel loaded, try. Are you working on anything exciting at the moment?
Ooh, I like that. Lets them talk about work or a hobby or anything they're passionate about.
Right. Or to get things positive, what is the highlight of your week? Makes them recall a good feeling and they associate it with you.
Nice. Any others?
A simple, powerful one. Tell me something interesting about yourself. Puts them in control. Lets them choose what to share. Less pressure.
Those are great. Okay, so we started well. How do we keep the questions strategic as the conversation goes on?
Tip 1. Keep reinforcing open-ended questions. Stick with what, who, how, where, when, why. Avoid yes-no questions.
So not, did you like the conference, but what was the most valuable session you attended at the conference?
Exactly. And don't forget the simple follow-up. Tell me more about that. Low effort, high impact. Shows you're engaged.
Okay. Tip 2.
Find the line. This is about respecting boundaries. Sensitive topics, race, religion, politics, sex.
Don't dive straight in.
Please don't. Unless you know the person well and trust has been built. These topics are loaded. Why risk derailing things early on?
Build rapport first on safer ground.
Absolutely. Start low stakes, find common interests, and then maybe, If appropriate and trust is there, you can explore deeper topics. But earn that trust first.
Makes sense. And tip 3. This one's subtle. Remember social hierarchy and context.
Yeah, this is crucial, especially professionally. You need to adapt your language and maybe even your question style.
How so? Like talking to the CEO versus a colleague.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't use the same casual slang with the CEO. You might phrase questions a bit more formally.
Matching their level.
Sort of. It's about showing respect for the context and the relationship dynamics. If they use more formal language, mirroring that slightly can build rapport. It's not about being fake, it's about being context aware. The content of the question might be the same, but the delivery adapts.
Okay, we've got the internal foundation self-awareness. We've got the mechanics listening and questioning. Now, the moment it all comes together.
The first impression.
Yeah, we say don't judge a book by its cover, but we do. Instantly. Our brains are wired for it.
It's about survival, originally, friend or foe, trustworthy or not, and it happens in seconds.
So this moment involves 2 things, reading the room and writing the room. Let's start with reading.
Reading the room is your observation skill. You're quickly assessing the other person's vibe, their mood, their energy level.
Like that substitute teacher analogy, kids figure out instantly if the sub is strict or a pushover.
Exactly. We need to be that observant, tuning in to nonverbal cues.
And again, that 55% body language figure comes up. What are we looking for specifically?
Signs of openness or tension. Are their arms crossed? Legs crossed? That often signals defensiveness, being closed off.
What about hands?
Hands hidden in pockets or fidgeting a lot can mean nervousness or maybe hiding something. Lip biting, nail picking, classic anxiety signs.
And foot direction, that's a sneaky one.
Yeah. If their feet are pointed towards the door, even while they're talking to you, their body wants out.
Good cue. And we have to trust our gut on this. That little feeling that something's off.
Definitely. Remember that study with the London traders? The most successful ones were highly tuned into their own body's signals, their interoceptive ability.
They trusted their gut feelings about the market.
Right. So if your gut is telling you this person is stressed, defensive, uncomfortable, listen to it. Maybe adjust your approach, be gentler, back off a bit.
Okay, that's reading. Now, the other side, writing the room. This is about controlling our impression.
Yes. It's being intentional about the signals you're sending out before you even speak.
Posture, tone of voice, handshake, firmness, eye contact.
All of it. Think about how you carry yourself, how you occupy space. The sources use that lovely analogy of children.
Oh, so.
Kids haven't learned all the social filters yet. They're just authentically themselves. If they're happy, they beam. If they're mad, you know it.
And adults respond to that raw energy.
Exactly. They confidently write the room with their authentic state. If we can tap into that, show up genuinely, grounded in our self-awareness, we set the tone, we project confidence naturally.
Okay, so reading and writing the room sets the stage. Now let's get into small talk mastery. We need the foundations we talked about, questions, listening.
Minimizing distractions, absolutely. But there's a 4th pillar, often missed.
Which is?
Showing enthusiasm, genuine energy.
Ah, so it's not just what you talk about, but how.
Precisely. Enthusiasm is contagious.
Mhm.
You can make even boring topics, like the weather, engaging if you approach it with real curiosity and energy.
How does that look? Adjusting your tone, inflection?
Yeah. And your body language. Leaning in slightly, smiling genuinely. It signals you're excited by the interaction itself, not just going through the motions. It makes the conversation feel fun, not like a chore.
Got it. Energy matters. Now, a key technique for building quick rapport, mirroring.
Yes. This can be powerful, but needs care. It's about subtly matching the other person.
Matching what?
Their body language, posture, gestures, also their speech patterns, speed, volume, tone.
And this works. That Anderson study showed people like strangers more when this happens.
Subtly, yes. It creates a subconscious feeling of similarity, of being in sync. Like you're on the same wavelength.
Okay, but here's the danger zone. How do you do this without looking like you're mimicking them? Or doing some weird, creepy, synchronized dance?
Great question. It must be subtle and slightly delayed.
Delayed, yeah.
If they cross their legs, don't immediately copy them. Wait 20, 30 seconds. Maybe shift slightly in a similar way. If they use a particular hand gesture, maybe use a similar one later, not the exact same one right away.
So it's about echoing the style, not being a direct copy.
Exactly. And only mirror neutral or positive body language. Don't mirror crossed arms or signs of negativity. The brain picks up on subtle alignment, but flags exact immediate replication as odd or even mocking.
Okay, subtle and delayed. Got it. Now, what about when things stall? You're trying, but the other person is just unresponsive, closed off, a conversation obstacle.
Happens all the time. If you can't politely exit, you might need elicitation.
Sounds intense, like interrogation.
Well, it has roots there, but it's used naturally by good communicators, teachers. It's about gently encouraging someone to open up, leveraging basic psychology.
Okay, what are the techniques?
First, complimenting. Genuine praise works wonders.
Why?
It lowers defenses, makes people feel seen, accepted, safe. If someone feels appreciated, wow, your perspective on that is really insightful, or you handle that pressure incredibly well, they become more willing to share.
Makes sense. Give value first. What's the other technique? This one seems weird. Complaining.
Counterintuitive, right? But shared dislike is a powerful bonding agent.
Really? We complain that much?
Studies suggest 15-30 times a day on average. And complaining is often how conversations start, finding a small mutual annoyance.
Like the bad coffee, the terrible traffic, the rainy weather?
Exactly. It creates an instant us against the problem vibe, a little pocket of shared experience and vulnerability. It can break the ice much faster than forced positivity sometimes. Okay, let's elevate things now. Beyond just connection, let's talk confidence and charisma. They're related, but different. Charisma is that outward charm, the magnetism, the thing that draws people to you. Confidence is more internal.
It's the belief?
Yeah, the belief that things will probably go well, or maybe more importantly, the belief that even if they don't go well, you can handle it. You've got the resources inside.
Confidence fuels charisma, then. If you feel shaky inside, it's hard to project that magnetic charm.
Exactly. Which brings us back to that neuroscience idea. Fake it till you make it. It's not just motivational fluff.
It's the Hebbian principle. Neurons that fire together.
Wire together, right? Every time you act confident, even if you don't feel it initially, you're firing up those neural pathways.
So visualizing success, standing tall, speaking clearly, even if just to yourself in the mirror.
You're literally strengthening the brain circuits for confidence. You're rehearsing the reality, wiring it in. Practice makes permanent, neurologically speaking.
And this links directly to our physical presence too, doesn't it?
Hugely. Amy Cuddy's research on power posing is landmark stuff.
The idea that just changing your posture changes your mindset.
And your body chemistry. Standing in a high-power pose, think Superman, hands on hips, or sitting expansively like a boss.
Just for 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes. It lowered cortisol, the stress hormone, and increased testosterone, linked to risk-taking and feeling powerful. Your body can lead your mind.
Amazing. So stand tall, feel better, act more confidently. Okay, what about charisma specifically? What do charismatic people do?
One key thing is they manage their nerves differently. They focus less on the outcome, will they like me, will I succeed, and more on the interaction itself.
They're present in the journey, not just worried about the destination.
Exactly. They enjoy the exchange, and crucially, they make sure their topic is relatable.
Ah, yes, the guy bragging about his swimming medals.
To someone who clearly doesn't care about swimming, that's self-absorption, not charisma. Charismatic people tune in, find common ground, pivot their stories to connect.
Which requires having good stories. The art of storytelling. How do we find compelling stuff in our everyday lives?
Because everyone thinks their life is boring. Brushing teeth, commuting. But everyone also experiences drama, conflict, humor, resolution. You just need to find the killer plot line, as the sources put it.
To see the mini dramas.
Yeah, like the supermarket manager example. Instead of, I manage a store, it's...
Sometimes I feel like a detective. Yesterday I was tailing this guy Mission Impossible style.
Right. Instantly adds intrigue, conflict, a reason to listen. You got to frame your experiences.
So how do we structure these stories quickly, make them punchy?
For short, quick hits, use the 1.1.1 method.
One action, one sentence summary, one emotion.
You got it. Like, I went on a date last week, action. Told her to drop my pasta in my lap. Summary. I was so mortified. Emotion.
Quick, relatable, shares vulnerability, nice.
Right, it's instant connection. For longer stories, though, you need more structure. Think like Pixar.
Pixar, like the movies.
Yeah. They have a formula that works. It layers conflict and emotion to guarantee engagement.
Okay, walk us through that structure. Use that story about the dog jumping out the car window.
All right. Okay. Pixar structure. 1. Introduction. Set the scene. Normalcy. We're driving. Nice day. Windows down.
Okay, baseline established.
Introduce conflict. The inciting incident. Bam.
Yeah.
Dog leans out, jumps onto the highway. Stakes are high.
Panic.
3. Consequences. The fallout. The struggle. Slam on brakes. Partner's panicking, frantic search by the road, terrified the dog's hurt. Build that tension.
Right, the searching part.
4. Resolution conclusion. How the immediate crisis ends. Phew. Found him under a bush. Totally okay.
Relief.
5. Aftermath. The lingering emotional impact or learning. That moment of reunion, hugging the dog, crying, reminded us how much we love him even when he's dumb, ties it up emotionally.
See, without that structure, it's just my dog jumped out the car. Boring.
Exactly. The structure adds the drama, the stakes, the feeling. You need to mentally practice framing your own minor incidents this way.
So we've covered the skills: self-awareness, listening, questions, presence, storytelling. But what's the real point of all this?
It's not just about being smooth at parties, is it?
No. The ultimate goal, the real payoff, is translating these skills into deep, meaningful relationships.
Because, let's be honest, a million acquaintances, it doesn't compare to 5 really close friends.
Not even close. And the benefits are huge, right? Like scientifically proven benefits.
Oh yeah. That 2014 study was clear. Strong relationships literally help you live longer. They boost mental health, increase self-confidence.
And provide resilience. That's a big one.
Huge. That Hill study from 2008 is amazing.
Remind us, people looking at a steep hill.
Yeah. If they stood next to a close friend, they perceive the hill as significantly less steep than people standing alone or next to a stranger.
Wow. So just having a friend nearby literally makes challenges feel smaller, easier?
It seems so.
Yeah.
That shared connection buffers stress, makes hard times feel less daunting. It's a massive psychological advantage.
Yet it feels harder than ever to build these connections, doesn't it? Modern life, tech.
Definitely creates barriers. We get isolated, we substitute scrolling social media for actual quality time, we think we're connected because we see updates.
But we're not actually experiencing life together, building shared memories.
Right. It takes conscious effort now. You have to deliberately put the phone down, make plans, show up, create those real moments.
And part of being able to connect and having things to share is actually being an interesting person, which loops back to the start.
Yes, it connects back to section 1, defining yourself, your values.
Yes.
Because becoming interesting isn't about frantically doing more stuff.
It's about cutting out the filler, the things that don't align with your values.
Exactly. Making space for things that genuinely interest you and enrich your life.
So practical tips for becoming more interesting, so you actually have stories to tell.
Okay, first, read more books. Seriously.
Why books specifically?
Well, that 14-year study showed it trains your brain, helps cognitive function, reduces decline later in life. Plus, fiction especially builds empathy. And books give you new ideas, new topics for conversation.
Like dropping a reference to quantum mechanics from dark matter?
Yeah. It can spark totally unexpected, interesting conversations.
Oh.
Opens doors.
Okay, read more. What else?
Switch up your routine, even in small ways.
Like,
Take a different route to work sometimes. Get up early one weekend and watch the sunrise instead of sleeping in. Visit a park you've never been to.
introduce novelty, break the monotony.
Exactly. These little deviations create unique experiences, fresh perspectives. They generate anecdote fuel. You need to seek out small doses of the unfamiliar.
Good one. Third tip.
Invest time wisely. Back to time as currency. Audit yourself. Where are you leaking hours?
Yeah.
Mindless scrolling. Binge-watching shows you don't even love.
Be honest about the time wasters.
And consciously redirect that time. Learn that instrument. Start writing. Volunteer somewhere meaningful. Take up a hobby.
So when you meet people, you have genuine passions and skills to talk about.
Right. You're building a richer inner life, which makes you more interesting externally.
And the final point, which feels like a big one for generating stories and growth.
Embrace fear.
Step towards the things that make you nervous.
Yes. That new hobby. That difficult but necessary conversation. That trip that feels intimidating. Lean into it.
There was that quote, everything good in life
Can be found on the other side of fear. It's challenging, but often true. If you let fear of awkwardness or failure or judgment paralyze you.
You guarantee a less interesting, less connected life. The fear of being uninteresting makes you uninteresting.
Precisely. You have to risk looking silly sometimes.
And the final golden rule for maintaining these relationships long term.
Always be yourself. After all that self-awareness work, be authentic. Real friends, true connections. They accept you, flaws, changes, and all. You shouldn't need a mask for the people who truly matter. #tag outro.
Wow, okay, that was a seriously deep dive. Let's try and recap the key takeaways for everyone listening. The quick checklist.
All right, start inside. Define your authentic self, your values. That's the foundation.
Then, communication skills. Listen to understand, not just to reply. Use open-ended questions. What, who, how to guide things and get clarity.
Manage your presence. Use confident body language, power poses. Practice subtle mirroring to build rapport.
And tell better stories. Find the plot lines in your life, use enthusiasm, structure them effectively.
And remember, this isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a journey.
Continuous learning, infinite skill cap. Needs patience, needs practice.
Exactly. Be kind to yourself as you learn.
All right, so here's the final thought we want to leave you with today. A little challenge.
Since we know confidence and charisma are learned skills,
Which one of those core foundations, self-awareness, active listening, or maybe strategic questioning, are you going to commit to practicing intentionally for just 15 minutes today?
just 15 minutes, small step.
Because sometimes the biggest leaps in connections start with those small, deliberate actions. Think about it
We'll see you next time.
on the deep dive.